with the latest on those new charges against former President Donald Trump in the classified documents case. Today, a newly introduced third defendant, the property manager at the former president's Florida home, is scheduled to be arraigned in Miami federal court. Carlos de Oliveira was named in a superseding indictment last week and charged with 4 counts, including conspiracy to obstruct justice and making false statements to the FBI. According to prosecutors, Trump directed both de Oliveira and his valet, Walt Nauta, to destroy security camera footage last year from the room monitoring where boxes of classified documents were being stored at Mar-a-Lago. That alleged order came just days after the FBI issued a subpoena for that same footage. It's unclear, though, if de Oliveira's arraignment will go on as planned today because, as of last night, we're told he still did not have a Florida-based lawyer. Maybe the same stall tactic that Nauta used earlier in the case. Let's bring in NBC News Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Dilanian right now with the very latest. Ken, what do we think we will see, if anything, today?
Good morning, Jonathan. Well, it all depends on whether he can find local counsel. And for somebody like Carlos de Oliveira, you know, that's a big deal. He has to find a competent lawyer in Florida on very short notice, assuming he didn't know he was about to be named in an indictment to represent him. So we may not see the arraignment today, but one thing is clear is that these new charges add a really important new dimension to the obstruction of justice angle to this classified documents case. And it really separates what happened here with the situation with President Biden and former Vice President Mike Pence, who both had classified documents found in their residence. What was laid out on Friday in this new superseding indictment was a scheme that was something out of a mob movie where Donald Trump allegedly instructed 2 lower-level employees to delete surveillance footage days after he got a grand jury subpoena. That is very clear to regular Americans what that's all about. And it also undercuts what had been Mr. Trump's defense in this classified documents case, because, you know, if the documents were declassified, if he had to write to them, which is what he's been saying all along, then why would he need to destroy evidence, surveillance footage showing those boxes of classified documents being moved? So this is a very important development in the case. It remains to be seen whether this third defendant is arraigned, but at some point he will be, Jonathan.
So, of course, this came sort of out of nowhere at the end of last week while the eyes were all in Washington, thinking that the January 6th election interference indictment could come down. And we should know we still anticipate that coming. It could be in a matter of days. But, Ken, on this case, we heard from Trump, you know, on Truth Social over the weekend at his rally, insisting, hey, we never deleted anything. We never deleted the server. But that's not the point, right? It wasn't that it actually was deleted. It was that he gave the order to.
That's right. He's charged with a conspiracy to obstruct justice in this matter. And it doesn't matter if you've succeeded in a criminal conspiracy if the prosecution can prove you engaged in one. Now, I will say, reading this superseding indictment carefully, it doesn't give any hint that prosecutors have direct witnesses who can put the words in Donald Trump's mouth, delete the footage. What they have is a third-hand conversation, at least what they've laid out in the indictment, the superseding indictment, between de Oliveira and a 4th employee who appears to be cooperating, where he says the boss wants the footage deleted. Now, obviously, what they would like to do is flip Mr. de Oliveira and have him testify about his conversations with Donald Trump. And if those, in fact, were the conversations, that becomes a devastating witness. But there's reporting that, you know, they brought him in and they talked to him under what's known as a proffer, a queen for a day proffer, according to the Washington Post. And they didn't like what he said, and they believe he lied to them, which is why they've now charged him with false statements. And he's represented by an attorney who's paid for by Donald Trump's super PAC. So thus far, he's standing firm. And it does raise a bit of a question about how strong the evidence is here in terms of pinning on Mr. Trump the conspiracy to delete the footage. We'll just have to see if this is all the prosecutors have, Jonathan.